much for being with me here today. You've all heard of OCD, ADD. You probably even know your ABCs. But do you know about OCC? Have you heard of it? Today I'm going to share with you, and you're going to learn what OCC, because we face it every single day. Would you agree with me that we are in the greatest profession that has ever existed on this planet? Yes. What? I see all you young, beautiful people, and I remember when I was in school and the passion and the love that I had for chiropractic. And I see that our profession is headed in such a beautiful, wonderful way. And I remember coming out of school and wanting to tell the world that I was a chiropractor. And I remember having lightning bolts coming out of my piezoform. And my activator gun was an AK-47 annihilating all those subluxations. Can you relate? Can you relate? Yeah. And it was a wonderful time in my life. And I couldn't wait to meet people because I wanted to tell them that I am a chiropractor, right? And so as soon as I met you, if within 30 seconds you weren't asking me my name and what I did, I was asking you because you know what? I knew you were going to ask me in return what it is that I did. And I am a chiropractor. But when you tell somebody that you are a chiropractor, what's the first thing they say? Oh, I have this neck pain. Maybe I should come see you. Or I went to a chiropractor once. I had this accident. Or worse yet, oh, I don't need a chiropractor because I don't have any back problems, right? And so you're going to be faced with that, and you need to know how to deal with it. So I'm coming out of school, guns blazing. I'm ready to tell the world, shout it from the rooftop, that I am a chiropractor and I'm going to save lives. And here's what happens. Life gets in the way, right? I'm a mother. I have a family to take care of. And I'm offered this opportunity, the O in OCC. So I have an opportunity to go work for an office, a practice, a very busy practice. So I'm thinking in my head, oh my goodness, I am going to adjust spines. I am going to annihilate subluxations. I am going to teach the world about what I do. And all of a sudden, I'm going to make this fundamental change in this profession that no one's ever seen before. And so I went, took the opportunity, made that choice. And one of the doctors last night was talking about your niche, or your niche. I'm not sure which way to pronounce that. But anyway, you know what I'm talking about. And this niche, or niche, was in personal injury. So all we did was adjust spines all day. We were very busy. What happens when you're very busy? You don't have time to educate and empower. And that's what I was put on this earth to do, to educate and empower our community to make better health and life choices, get rid of limiting beliefs, and get in touch with their inner divinity. And when I was so busy adjusting spines, trying to get a report for the attorney so that they can make a few bucks at the end of the day, I lost myself. I lost my purpose. And I stopped educating and empowering and doing what I do best. But things were good. I was making money. Successful. I would go to seminars and I would see all these doctors on stage speak, and I'm like, I want to do this one day. And I saw there were nice, shiny, bright objects, and I had the nice house, and I had the nice car, and I had the boats, and I was traveling in the fancy bags. And one day, in my self-absorbed moment, my mom comes over, and I'm hoping I don't get a little choked up, because I always do. And she's sitting in my daughter's bed, and I see this blank stare in her eyes, and this palpable uneasiness in her chest and in her heart. And I'm like, Mom, what's up? What's going on? And she says to me, they found a lump in my breast. And I discarded it. Mom, it's nothing. Don't worry about it. You're going to be fine. You know, maybe you just need to start changing your lifestyle. So a few weeks later, maybe a week, I don't know, she gets a diagnosis. And it's in fact stage 3 cancer in her breast. And I went into fear. And what do you do when you go into fear? You start blaming. Start blaming others. Mom, this is your fault. Your lifestyle sucks. You don't exercise. You don't come in and get adjusted. You don't eat healthy. But what happens when I point a finger at you? 3 back, pointing at me. And she said, I didn't know. What? You didn't know? And in that moment, I realized that I had lost my purpose and I had lost my passion, that I was adjusting spines, but I wasn't educating and empowering, that I had all the bright, shiny objects, and on the exterior, I was very successful, but internally, I was dying. And I was doing a disservice to my family, to my friends, to my patients, to my profession, but also to myself. And in that moment, I knew that something needed to change. That I was not happy, I was not fulfilled, and I was not going to continue on this path. And I was not going to continue to work for somebody 6 days a week, not being able to see my children, not being able to pick them up from school or have dinner with them, and not doing what I did best, which is talking to people, telling them what it is I do. I no longer say I'm a chiropractor. I do say I'm a chiropractor. But when they ask me what I do, I don't say, oh, I'm a chiropractor, because they already have a preconceived notion, and we cannot allow other professions to tell people what it is that us chiropractors do. It's our responsibility to tell other people what it is that we do. So I set off on this journey, and I decided that I was going to quit my cushy job. I was making big money right out of school. And I decided I was no longer going to do this. I was going to reconnect with my purpose. And I did that through prayer and meditation. And if you ask, you will receive. And so when you ask questions and you sit in a meditative state, those answers will come to you. And the answers that came to me were, you need to stop what you're doing. You need to get rid of the job. You need to get rid of relationships that are no longer serving you because you're not happy. And you need to reconnect. And the other message that came to me was that we are all a piece of consciousness, that we're all interconnected, that my thoughts, actions, attitudes, and behavior directly affect you and everyone else on the planet. And that every thought, action, and behavior that you have directly affects me, everyone else in this room, and the planet. So you need to be very aware of what you're thinking, what you're saying, what you're doing, and how you're acting. It is our personal responsibility to make sure that the message that we portray in our personal lives, in our professional lives, and throughout our profession is a positive one. It is our responsibility to get the proper message out there. Funny thing happened when I decided to leave that practice and open up my own practice. All of a sudden, I started attracting all the right people, places, and things into my life. I went down from 6 days a week to practicing 3 days a week. And guess what happened? My practice doubled. My income doubled. Now I was able to pick up my kids from school, drop them off in the morning, pick them up from school, and have dinner with them at night. I still don't cook, but I pick them up from school and have dinner with them at night. I attracted the right relationships. Found someone who is so supportive of me, my biggest fan. And started to see the miracles occur in my practice. The kids coming in with uncontrollable fevers. Every test in the sun, nobody could figure it out. Parents upset. I was their last option, their last resort. And guess what happened? After one adjustment, that fever's gone. A month later, no more fevers. I just spoke to the mom. They still come to see me on a regular basis. Not one other fever, no flu, no any sort of sign of illness or sickness. Because that's the power of what we do. And you're coming out of school and you have that fire, and you need to make sure that that fire stays ignited, that you don't lose it. Because it's so easy in this world. And we're bombarded with all these messages from all over, from your medical doctor. And you sit down on TV, if you even watch TV, I just decided I wasn't going to do that anymore. But there's every single commercial, take this pill, it's going to kill you, but take it anyway. But don't go see a chiropractor because that might cause a stroke. Get the hell out of here. Right? So these miracles started to occur, and one of my, that's a beautiful story about Jazzy. As a matter of fact, I just wrote about it. But I had a young man, 21 years old, in a wheelchair with cerebral palsy. And after one adjustment, He realized the next time he come in on his second visit that he was coming to see me. And I don't know what happened in his body because he's still not very communicative, but I can hear him in my reception. You can't understand what he's saying, but you can certainly understand that he's excited to be there. And he went, and he's still very assisted, so I'm not going to say that I got him off his wheelchair. Assisted now, which he wasn't doing before, can get onto my table to get his adjustment. And he high-fives me on the way out. Is that cool or what? You will see those messages. You will see that in your practice. That's what we're here for. I don't know if I chose chiropractic or if chiropractic chose me, but you know what? I'm in the right place at the right time with the right people. And that's for sure. With opportunity come choices. And once I decided to make the choice to reconnect with my power, my inner divinity, and my life purpose, I started getting a lot of opportunities to speak, something that I love to do. So I suddenly was being asked, do you want to come into my office and give a presentation? I mean, when you have these coaching sessions in your office, can I bring a loved one or can I bring my coworkers? Or am I just limited to one? No, you can bring everybody. And I remember going back when I was in that other practice and saying to myself, there's only 2 people scheduled for that workshop? No, I'm not doing that. Cancel that, reschedule it. Now, I don't care if there was nobody in the room. There could be a lizard sitting in that chair, and they're going to get my coaching session. I didn't care what it was, but they were going to hear the message. And you know what happens? When you put the energy out there, what comes back to you? The same energy tenfold. So even though at the very beginning I didn't have those chairs filled, guess what happened? All of a sudden, I couldn't have 1 coaching session a week or 2 coaching sessions a week. I had to have an AM shift and a PM shift, just so that I could get that message. So now I'm living my purpose. With that, because I like to speak, maybe you got that or not, I don't know, I decided to join the largest networking organization in the world. I don't know if you've heard of it, but if you haven't, you're going to look it up. It's called BNI, Business Network International. And I found that they were a category-exclusive organization and that it was the movers and shakers in my community. They're in every populated continent in the world, so I don't care where you practice. You're going to find a BNI group, especially here in the States. And I found that these were the movers and shakers of my profession. I'm sorry, not my profession, of my community. And I wanted to meet them. If you're a business owner, I wanted to get to know you because you have employees, and your employees need what I do. Your company needs to know the message of chiropractic. I'm going to save you money on this, this, and that, and I'm going to get your people healthier, and they're going to be more productive. And so I started to volunteer, and I became the mentorship coordinator for all the new members that entered into this organization. Why did I do that? Did I have extra time? Maybe a little bit, but because they would be the first person that I would be the first person that they would see. So I got to mentor them and coach them as to how to become a better networker. But guess what? What it is that I do. And so I got more visibility. And so here's what happens with visibility in your community. Visibility creates credibility, and credibility creates profitability. So now my practice is not doubling, now it's tripling. And I'm a community leader. I'm a thought leader in my community. People want to know what I have. And I was offered the opportunity, and I took the choice, and I made the choice to do it, to go ahead and speak to 1,000 members of my region on chiropractic, lifestyle, how we're the greatest profession, and how it is that everyone in that audience needed what I did. And I was offered that opportunity, and I took that choice. And with choices come consequences. And the consequences turned out to be pretty darn good. I tripled my practice. So we're all a piece of consciousness intertwined, and we can't get away from that. My actions, attitudes, thoughts, and behaviors are going to have a profound effect on the planet, and so will yours. It is our responsibility to get that message, connect with that inner divinity. Connect with that universal intelligence, with your innate intelligence, with your power. You have personal power. Use it. You guys are amazing. You're intelligent. I hear the student speakers speak. I'm like, we're in good shape here. We need more of these people. My profession is in good shape. You guys are leaders. You're movers, you're shakers. Don't lose your passion. Come to these seminars. I'm so glad to be here, and I see other doctors that have been practicing for 50 years, Dr. Landy. Oh my goodness. And he's a fireball. That's why I come to these seminars, because I need to rub shoulders and elbows with people like him and all the great leaders in our profession, Dr. LaMarche, Dr. Riekman, and there's so many to, Dr. Plasker, there's so many to name. It's been an honor and a pleasure to be here with you today, and I hope you really got my message of how blessed I am to be in this profession. I hope you understand that you are too. I want to leave you with this. You need to start thinking, acting, and behaving in a way that's going to build your legacy. You need to start living your legacy now. This is a time. It's time to step into your greatness. Learn from my mistakes. What can you do today that's going to make a difference tomorrow? What can you do today that's going to make a difference in your community? What are you going to do today that's going to make a change in the planet? Start living your legacy and step into your greatness. Thank you.